This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK,
8 minutes
nothing but Knicks.
Huh?
8 minutes past the time.
I won. Oh.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And of course, you heard Isaiah in the background talking over top of the intro, ladies and gentlemen. Only Isaiah does that. You know, only Isaiah does that. What can you do? What can you do? This guy is constantly in training.
Yeah, man, that's why I'm the best in the show.
Constantly in training. Talking over the top of the intro. Wow.
Andy set me up for that, by the way, but you're not gonna mention that part, but okay.
I mean, you allowed him to set you up. I don't know what to say. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks tonight take on the Brooklyn Nets at the Barclays Center. The Nets are 4-7 on the season. The Knicks are 5-5. This should be a good one. Kevin Durant's averaging 31 points per game. Let's get around to everybody. We got Steph, who's just now joining us. So let me get Steph in the show. And yeah, here we go. Andy, what's popping with you, man? How you feeling?
What up, Sim? What up, Steph? Bubba, happy to be on with you guys as usual. Listen, I'm gonna take a part for Big Bubba talking over the intro, Sim. I'm not gonna lie. I did it on purposely.
Don't take up for him, Andy.
I did it on purposely. So
don't take up for him. Let him deal with the consequences. Steph, what's going on today?
I'm good, Sam. How are you, Andy? Isaiah, I've been meaning to reach out. Hope you're doing okay.
We good, Queen. We good.
Okay, good. I'm excited. I'm excited for this game against Brooklyn. I think the Knicks have a good chance to win it, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, when you look at the roster, I mean, sheesh. I don't know. Big Bubba, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Sam? It's Queen. Andy's, even though he betrayed me and set me up.
Come on, man.
I'm feeling good, man. Another day, another great Knicks game. I think we, like Queen said, I think we have a real big opportunity here for the Knicks to win this game. And we're going to talk about it. There's a lot of key factors to this game for us to win. So,
right.
Let's get it.
I mean, the biggest key factor is Kevin Durant. that's the biggest
key
factor.
to the city. That's the key to the city right there,
right.
Man.
That's the biggest factor. Before we even get into that, I didn't get any of you guys take on the last game the Knicks played against Minnesota, where they went crazy. Well, Julius Randle went crazy from the three-point line. The Knicks were, 19 of 48 or something like that? They took 48 threes, only 89 shots. What's your thoughts on that, Andy? Is it sustainable that the Knicks can shoot so many threes and shoot it at a high clip?
Listen, they can definitely take that many. I don't think they can make that many, but let's hope. For me, it's simple. If you start shooting threes and they're falling, keep shooting. But if you miss, several in a row, you gotta tweak the offense at least for a little bit of time, and then you can go back to shooting threes. Then again, this is the NBA. These are the top, players in the world. Mm-hmm. So at least one of your guys supposed to be hot on a certain night.
Right.
So if Randall ain't hitting and Brunson ain't hitting, maybe RJ has that hot hand, or Reddish, or someone else, right? So I think if you go around the clock and see who's hot, you can roll with the hot hand. But listen, I ain't the coach yet, so
yet. Yeah. We'll leave that word there. Yeah. Steph, what do you think?
Exactly.
I don't think we have those types of shooters on this team, but Tibbs feels that, even hitting less threes than twos, you still have a better chance. It's hard to argue with him when you look at the Boston game when we doubled them up and points in the paint. And they hit 27 3-pointers, and we was basically exchanging threes for twos.
Right.
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 That being said, I don't see Randall as being a great 3-point shooter. I cringe every time he pulls from three, but I don't think it's stopping. Like, he had that interview with after the game, I think with Green and Clyde, whoever it was, and he's trusting his work that he's been putting in the work in the off season. And basically what I'm hearing is I'm gonna continue to take them because at some point my work is gonna pay off. That's what I heard.
Right.
So I
That's
don't
what he
think
said.
he's gonna
Basically,
stop
I mean,
anytime soon.
no, he's not. Basically, that's what he said. And it's funny because we were just talking about it in the game preview about Randall, or maybe it was before the game preview, behind the scenes. We were talking about Randall shooting, and that every time someone passes it to him outside the 3-point line, we're like, oh man, here we go. And like you said, you know, he makes one, and then all of a sudden, boom, he thinks he's hot for that night.
Right.
You know, last game versus Minnesota, he was definitely hot from the 3-point line. You know, I guess we'll see if I don't think he's going to control it. You know, I think he's going to shoot it. He's going to shoot it when he feels he's open. He's going to shoot it. You know, that's what I guess Tom Thibodeau wants him to do as well. Isaiah, your thoughts on it, man? Can the Knicks sustain that type of shooting from the 3-point line?
No. It would be nice, but they can't. I mean,
so you don't
you go from
because they shot 39%. You know, that's not like it's crazy. Like the Celtics shot 52%. They're not maintaining that, right?
I think they can do like, I think throughout the season, I would be happy with the team shooting 38, 39%. 40% would be great. I think that would be great.
I would be happy.
I would be happy with 36, bro.
I would be happy with 36.
But what did they shoot last year from the 3-point line?
Wasn't it like 37?
Listen, Fournier was 40, but I ain't going to say more.
Yeah, I thought they ended up shooting about 37%, 38% or something from the 3-point line.
With basically the same shooters, right? I mean, does Burks shot pretty
well.
well.
Burks shot 40%.
Oh, that definitely
almost 40, I think. Yeah,
no, almost 40% from the 3-point line. But
and so
now,
did Fournier.
And so did Fournier. You know,
But I mean, I will say this though, Sam. I think tonight we have a good chance to shoot a high percentage of clips because they don't play a lick of defense. So, you know,
but you gotta hit them. We ain't missing them because we contested. We missing them because we can't shoot them.
Right,
you know?
right? Because a lot of times they're open.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, so I guess we'll see as time goes on if they continue to shoot it. I mean, 48 threes. You know, if they continue to shoot 48 to 50 threes a night, that's a lot of threes.
That's crazy, man.
You know
That's a lot of threes.
That's a
man.
lot of threes.
Yeah,
a lot of threes.
50% of the shots that a team literally takes.
Yeah, and if you're missing them, if you're missing them, you know, I mean, look, Andy, like you said, if you're hitting them, you take them. If you're missing them, you got to change your strategy.
Yeah, at least for a bit, Sim, because you know it might change, right? See that ball go through the net, and then try it again. But man, if you miss like 6, 7 in a row, you're gonna be behind 10, easy.
Yeah. What did you guys take of Jericho Sims starting versus Minnesota?
You know what, Sim? I'll say this, man. One thing that bothers me about Thibs is that, and I get it, you know, we have a lot of depth, but I feel like when a player gets injured, I feel like he gets more creative with certain things. He's forced to be creative. And I believe when he's get creative, it works for him for the most part. When he's forced to be creative. And you know, I think having Jericho Sims, I thought it was a good substitution for Isaiah Hartenstein. That wasn't really, you know, the best last night. I think Jericho Sims did a good job. And again, I just like when Thibs gets to open his horizon more and play these kind of lineups. You know, it's still early in the season, so you can still see what things work. And I thought Jericho Sims did a good job. What is it? What was that? The 7th game? No, that was the 10th game last night.
Yeah,
and he was ready.
10th game. You know, in his hometown. You know what I mean? Not far from his old high school.
Are you from Minnesota?
Yeah, not far from his old high school. So, you know, his mom was there. Got to see him start. So that, you know, that was cool. Andy, any thoughts on Jericho Sims starting? Why he started? Will he continue to start?
Well, we saw Tibbs do those kind of changes in the starting lineup. If we had injuries last season, that he stepped over the guy from the bench because he wanted to kept that bench intact, right?
Right. Right.
But when I saw Sims starting instead of Hartstein yesterday, I was thinking like, is Tibbs a betting man? And was there a bet like who scores the first bucket or something like who wins the tip? I was like, this is wild because Hartstein, he was playing great, right? He trusted him. He had games for like 30 couple of minutes, 40 minutes, even,
Right.
a couple of games. So I was like, the natural thing, every other coach except Tibbs, he would start Hartstein, but he rolls out with Sims, and I was like, maybe Tibbs has a soft spot in his heart, like you said that Jericho was playing close to home and stuff like that. But we didn't see that with Kevin Knox starting in Orlando and
Right.
other things. So I was baffled, literally. I love it that we won. Is that the reason that we won? Maybe not 100%, but I was scratching my head and I was like,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
Because I
It-
couldn't find a reasonable solution at least.
right. I was surprised as well. Steph, what did you think about it?
I liked it for, a few reasons. One, Randall now, who's tasked with carrying a large part of our offense, doesn't also now have to defend Cat.
Right.
Number one. Number two, it brings Hartenstein back to the bench where he has chemistry with that second unit. And quite frankly, iHeart cannot defend um Cat. He just can't. Sims has some lateral quickness. I mean, we haven't really seen him in space. But he has a little more lateral quickness. So I think he'll be, do a better job, when Cat puts the ball on the floor. Our heart would not have been able to guard him at
Right.
all. So I think for those three reasons, I thought it was a good move. And the last one being that he was in Minnesota. I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think that was the
Right.
last part of
The
it. Like,
last. Yeah.
and we're in Minnesota
Right.
and he'll get in. I think that, but I thought it was a good move. I couldn't imagine, could Randall have had the game he had if he had to also guard Towns?
Towns. Right. Right. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. And hey, I guess we'll see if they continue to go with it. Because they'll have Nick Claxton tonight. He's not Karl Anthony Towns, but he's athletic. You know what I'm saying? He can get up and down the floor. He can space vertically. So maybe you'll see Sims, and I think it helps to maybe it helps to keep the team a little bit more intact because you moved Cam Reddish into the starting lineup, and then now
Right,
you're moving iHeart into the starting lineup.
right.
And honestly, I don't think there's. I feel like that starting unit actually worked well together, but now there's a bigger adjustment on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Where if you say, okay, we're moving Cam, but we're going to move Sims into that lineup who plays a lot like Mitch. So maybe there's not as big of an adjustment in the starting lineup, and then the bench, there's not as big of an adjustment either. So maybe he settled in on that. I guess we'll find out tonight, how that looks. Either way, it was a good win for the Knicks. Tom Thibodeau still kept the starters in until about 50 seconds left in the game. You know what I mean? Even though they was up 17, 18
Man,
points, we figured that was going to happen anyway.
Sam, that bothers me so much. I'm sorry,
He
man.
just lost a big lead to
Yeah, that's
Atlanta.
why, man. He just lost that big lead.
Yeah, and I thought Minnesota gave up too early. They took their starters out with 2 minutes
With
left. They haven't
yeah.
been watching the Knicks.
And,
Keep
and, and, and then you know what? And you know what's crazy? As soon as he brought those other guys in, Minnesota got a steal and hit a three. And I can guarantee you, in the back of Tibbs' mind, he's like, that's the reason why, right there. And it was a 13-point game. I told my son, I was like, yo, they better stop playing. Tibbs gonna bring the starters back in. You know what I'm saying? They mess around. Yeah, that's what the Knicks. That's the Knicks, man. Looking at the projected starting lineups for tonight. For the Knicks, Jalen Brunson, Cam Reddish, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and either Sims or iHeart. I guess we'll see which way Tom Thibodeau decides to go. And for the Brooklyn Nets, you got Sumner, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, Royce O'Neal, and Nick Claxton. Ben Simmons isn't even starting. Ben Simmons,
Right.
I don't know. What do you think about? What do you think about what's happening? What has happened to Ben Simmons? He's averaging like 5 points per game this season. 5.6 points, 6 rebounds, and 6.6 assists per game. I mean, you talk about falling off.
Mhm.
You know, man, and Uncle Fulio was talking about trading for him and paying him $30 million a year. You
Well,
know?
that's why his name's Uncle Fulio.
I mean, I sincerely hope that he can get his career back in line. I don't know if the confidence is there, you know, with everything that he's gone through so far in this league. I don't know if it might be tough for him. Steph, what do you
I mean-
think? What do you think? I'll get to you.
You know what, Sam? I had heard so little about him. I thought he was injured. And so then when I watched some of their last game against Dallas and they brought in Ben Simmons, I said, "Oh, he's healthy." Like
Yeah.
that's how missing in action
Right?
he's been. Um, he can definitely help them, right? Especially with Kyrie out. He doesn't seem very aggressive when he's in the game. That means nothing though when you play the Knicks. People come out of nowhere, players come out of nowhere and have good games, right? So you can't sleep on them. But I'm not sure what it is. He's ready to play, apparently. He's healthy. Maybe it's just finding his niche. He had a niche in Philadelphia,
Right. Right.
so maybe that's it as well.
Yeah, and he's attempted 1 3-point shot so far this season. Just one. It's 0 for 1. Big Bubble. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, for Ben Simmons, it's sad. I think it's a combination of to me his work ethic and to me him not putting the time in. I personally believe. I mean, he's a great defender, but I feel like he got to a level because there's always been reports about him like kind of being a little bit lazy and his like I feel like he capped at a certain ceiling that he was comfortable in. I think that he got comfortable, and I hate we people use the word dog so much, but it feels like he doesn't have the dog in him. It feels like he has just a puppy.
No,
Yeah,
he's a cat, like a couch cat, bro.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's tough. But I do feel for him, and I do hope he gets his confidence back because that is sad. It is.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's tough for him, man, because a lot of people expected that he was going to show up. That being in Brooklyn with KD and Kyrie would be the perfect spot for him because the focus wouldn't be on him. In Philly, with him and Joel Embiid, like he was one of the primary focuses out there on the floor. Focus wouldn't be on him at all. That he could kind of, play his game and do what he does and distribute, playing the post a little bit. But man, he's not doing any of that. Hopefully, this is the night that he does it. You know what I'm saying? He's not getting many minutes off the bench though. I'm lying. He is getting some minutes off the bench. 28, 34, 37, 36, 16. He's just not producing in that time that he's out there on the floor. Yeah. So that's something. Obviously, Kyrie Irving is not playing tonight for reasons that you all know why. I don't want to get into that discussion here now because that's a in-depth and lengthy discussion. We don't have time for it. But I tell you what, tonight on the front stoop, we're going to talk about freedom of speech and consequences that could go with freedom of speech. And when is it too much? When are some of the consequences too much? I mean, we're gonna get in depth, have a nice discussion about it. So join us tonight. It'll be after the post-game show. And obviously, we're going to talk about Kyrie Irving there. So I'll save that discussion for then. We just know he's out, right? So you have Sumner, who's going to be starting at the point guard spot. Jalen Brunson will likely be guarding Sumner. And this is a night because Julius Randle is probably going to guard Kevin Durant. Maybe you could have Maybe RJ Barrett does, but it's probably going to be Julius Randle. So, in my opinion, looking at the matchups, tonight is a night when Jalen Brunson needs to have a good game because Julius Randle will have his hands full with Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? And, it could definitely impact him on the offensive side of the ball if he's knuckling down and playing defense. So, Andy, I'll start with you. Jalen Brunson and, Eric Sumner?
Yeah, that
Edmund Sumner. Edmund Sumner. I called him Eric. Edmund Sumner.
I was gonna say, bro, we don't even know that guy name.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this: his surname Sumner. Listen, something with summer, he might get hot. Never know. Versus the Knicks, so I hope it's not gonna be the case. But like you said, I think Julius Randle might have the occasion to go head to head with Kevin Durant. I hope if he tries to do that and tries to outplay Kevin Durant, he's going to be hot. If not, though, we need everyone else around Julius Randle to have a good game. So
Right.
that's not going to be the case, out dueling each other to get this W for the team. That's why I believe, Brunson has to have a good game, not only point wise, but also, leading the team, being the floor general. And I think he's really capable of doing that. He's a really solid player. He knows his, opposition, not only like that, like he played versus him, but he knows that, if he's going to be playing his game, he's going to be, winning that battle 1-for-1. So I really believe in Brunson to have a good game today.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Edmund Sumner's averaging 5.8 points per game, 1.7 rebounds, 1.3 assists. He's 6'4", but he's not a scorer, right? He's not a guy that should be breaking Jalen Brunson down, in my opinion. He's shooting 20% from the 3-point line, 37% from the field. Jalen Brunson needs to dominate this matchup tonight, in my opinion. Steph, what do you think?
I think so too. One thing about Sumner though is he has some length to him, and
Mhm.
he's a pretty good defensive player. But again, with Brunson's shiftiness and his footwork, it shouldn't be a problem. I expect Brunson to win this lineup. But also keep in mind, even though Sumner is the point guard, Durant runs that offense a lot of the time when he's on the floor.
Right, right. That's going to put a lot of pressure on whoever's guarding Durant because
Correct.
I'm not exactly sure who it's going to be. I seen someone in the
Maybe
chat
Cam.
say, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I seen someone in the chat say Cam Reddish,
I mean, I
which,
think it has to be Cam.
Cam Reddish has the length. He has the ability to defend. You're not relying on him to score, so it could very well be Cam Reddish.
But then who do you put Julius on? Because Harris and Royce, they all 6'6" and under, I
Right.
believe.
I would say maybe you put Julius on Royce, right? Yeah,
Okay.
he's not going to be as much of a threat as Harris,
Right.
Oh.
I think, even though Harris is only averaging 7.4 points per game so far this season. But he
He
can
can
shoot.
stretch the floor, though. He can
Yeah,
stretch the floor. Royce is a little bit less, a threat from three.
right. Exactly. That's what I was going to say. So I guess, we're looking at these matchups. I mean, would you go, Steph, would you go with Cam on Kevin Durant and then let Barrett and Randall handle Harris and Royce O'Neal?
Yeah. Yeah, I would. I would. I mean, I think, Durant gonna get his anyway.
Right.
But I think Cam can make it hard for him. Randall does play well, guarding Kevin Durant, but for multiple possessions for the entire game when we're kind of in on him offensively, I think that's too much.
Yeah.
And Cam is kind of built for this. Cam is like basically his role is to play the best defensive play wing on the opposite team, right? Because he's not going to score a lot with this particular lineup. He's just not going to have the usage. He's not going to get those types of shots. So I
Right.
would do that. Put Barrett on Harris, and I mean, it's going to be a mismatch. Julius, either way, defensively having to guard somebody smaller. Harris is not going to go to the line. You just got to stay with him, around the 3-point. He's not going to put the ball on the floor, but Royce O'Neal will. He'll shoot the three. He'll put the ball on the floor as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be interesting. And then of course you got Sims or Ihart who will be guarding Nick Claxton out there. I'm feeling like he's probably gonna go with Sims
Me too.
as the starting center for tonight. Jalen Brunson. I mean, yeah, it's definitely interesting because now when you look at it, if Cam Reddish is going to guard Kevin Durant, maybe that puts a little bit less pressure on Brunson and Barrett to, have to produce. Like I said when I first started, you know what I mean? Because I was thinking in that mode because Randall be on Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's going to win that matchup. Randall would have his work cut out for him, so he could have a rough offensive night where then you'd be relying on Brunson and Barrett. But it could,
Right.
it could be a little bit. It could be different. It could be Cam Reddish guarding Kevin Durant. As a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's the way it should go. Big Bubba, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I think you just again, like Queen said, Kevin Durant's gonna get his. That's just given, But if we can stop these other guys, that's gonna be the main culprit, right? We have to control the Royce O'Neals. We can't have these guys going for 20, 25 points. If we can hold most of these guys to, we can hold Royce to like maybe 15, 14 points. Joe Harris to not get open threes and he have a exploding game of 20-something points. That's how you really stop the Nets, man. Because again, they play no deep.
I mean, if we hold Royce O'Neal to 15 or 14 points, that's a problem because he's averaging 11.
Oh,
okay. I mean,
but
I mean,
but you know what I'm trying to say though, Sam. I'm trying to say that we have to stop these other guys because that's going to be the key to us winning this game. Is that Kevin Durant, he can have 40, but that's only 40 points versus a larger scale of everybody else contributing to that. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, if we hold Royce O'Neal to 8 points, that'd be greatly appreciated.
I mean, because 11 is the most in his career as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's
Royce O'Neal? I'm looking at it now. And hold on, wait a minute. Let me go back. Let me pull up with something else. Maybe he did average more. Maybe I'm wrong. I was looking at splits.
Yeah, I was gonna say something because I got him in fantasy. I would drop him literally before you end the sentence.
Hold on.
But you don't have I have him in fantasy too on two of my teams, but not for scoring anyway. It's the defense.
Yeah,
I mean, but he is
around,
only
right?
averaging 11 this season.
Right.
Right. He's averaging 11. And for his career, he's averaging 6.3 points per game for his career. Yeah, he averaged 5 points, 5.2, 6.3, 7, 7.4, and 10.9 this season. So that's his career high this season. So, anyone can score 14 to 15, but if we, we're not holding them to that. we want to hold them to 8.
But you know what it is too, sir? I just don't want it to be like the Cam Thomas game.
I get you. Yeah.
Right. Cam Thomas drops 30 points.
Yeah.
Or you got or if Ben Simmons finally wakes up. Right. You know what I mean? These are the things that I'm worried about with the Knicks. Because I'm not, again, it's Kevin Durant. He's Kevin Durant. That's what he do.
Yeah.
But everybody else, man.
What's crazy is I don't even know what it is. I mean, obviously Kevin Durant's averaging 31 points a game, but I don't know where else they're getting scoring without Kyrie being there.
Right.
I don't know where it's coming from, for this team. You know what I mean? Cornerstone, what's going on, man? Oh, go ahead, Andy.
Okay. Just before Kev goes, I got Royce O'Neal's the stats from the fantasy thing. Every game this year, he scored at least 1 3-pointer, mostly 2, 3, or 4.
Okay.
So and rebounding, last game he had 4, 4 or 5, whatever, right? But assists last game he had 8.
Wow.
So the ball must be going through his hands at least a little bit,
must.
because he had like 2 games with 8 assists, 3 games with 5 assists, and other multiple games with assists. So
Yeah. He's averaging
so
4.1 assists per game.
yeah, so he
Yeah.
must be a factor at least in that
Yeah.
offense.
Right. And he's averaging 6.1 3-point attempts per game as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's
Wow.
stretching the floor at least.
Right. Cornerstone, and he's shooting like 40%, 41% from the 3-point line. Cornerstone, what's going on, man?
What's going on to the hippity hop to the flippity flop? I'm excited for tonight. I'm not
You
worried
make me
about
you make me want to give you a swirly so bad.
Hey, you had your chance. You had your
We
chance
ain't-
months ago.
Okay. We'll move past that portion of the show. And
Yes, exactly.
You got to cut it out,
Exactly.
Tim, after the show.
Exactly.
Right.
Cut that.
Yeah.
No, Eddie, I don't trust. Listen, I don't trust Sim editing. The way Sim edit things, and Sim sneaky with it, man.
Yeah, we basically we can't have another Kevin Love on performance from one of those guys tonight, because that's our Achilles. To me, that's our Achilles heel. Someone, I won't say an unknown, because Kevin Love is not an unknown, but someone you don't expect to have a good game has a good game against us. So
Right.
we have to really guard against that. I will say
I mean,
that
the
yeah,
only thing I'll say is with this particular team right now, somebody else has to have a good game
right,
with Kevin
Right.
Durant.
right,
So somebody's going to step up and score
right.
tonight. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah,
somebody's, and it is going to be someone that you probably don't expect, because
right,
most of the players that they have are people that you don't expect
right.
is going to step
Real
up and do something. Joe Harris, you would
Right, and
expect
I
that
was
he
going to
could have
ask
a good
about him
game.
if he was playing tonight. Right, I was going to ask about him. Yeah, we got to guard
Yeah,
up
watch out
against
for Cam
these
Thomas,
things.
man.
Okay, all right,
Cam Thomas, that dude he could drop 30 on you.
right. I feel as though that we'll be up for the challenge tonight. We hope. And like you said, Bubba, about Ben Simmons, let's be real, he hasn't had a good uh he's not been having a good season this season right here. Wouldn't it be ironic that he has it against us? I mean, come on. I would.
Yeah, possible.
That's all we know. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's
All
possible,
we need.
Yeah.
right? And a little trivia: we've never beaten Ben Simmons at all. He's undefeated against us. So you'd hope tonight, we break that trend and everything.
I hope so.
Right.
Yeah,
But
I
for the
think we didn't beat KD the last 7 seasons, no matter what team he
probably
played on. Also,
right, right. So we just got to come out and play, man. We got to come out and play. And we got to come out focused. I will say that I'm liking a little bit of what I'm seeing out of Tibbs and his coaching rotations. Uh, I, I I just truly believe that we'll come out of this. I really do. I really do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at some of the numbers between the two teams. The Knicks coming to the game averaging 115 points per game. They're grabbing 48.8 rebounds per game, averaging 24.7 assists. They're pretty high in the turnover aspect, 15.3 turnovers per game. They've been turning the ball over this season. I don't know, Steph. Do you think, is it because they're trying to play at a faster pace, or do you think they're just making mistakes?
I think they're making mistakes. We were playing at a faster pace early in the season. We were not turning the ball over. We are playing tougher competition, the further we get into the season. But you look at some of Randall's turnovers, some of them are unforced. Some of RJ's turnovers, some of them are unforced. So I don't know if it's the pace. It could be, it could be. I don't know. I'll take a closer look today and see where the turnovers are coming from.
Yeah. Andy, what do you think?
yes, I was gonna say, because this number is actually baffling me, because when you think about it, before the season, we got a new point guard. You would think that the point guard is gonna be like the main culprit of the turnover number, right? Meanwhile, he's actually keeping it lower. He's like good with turnovers, right?
Mhm.
And RJ and Randall are boosting those numbers, and
Right.
they don't handle the ball like they did last season. So I was like, this is like, it should be like, balanced. Meanwhile, it goes like one way, and I'm shocked because I was thinking, I knew that Brunson is a low turnover player. He's a high IQ and steady player, but I was thinking like he's gonna be running a new team. He has to, play with these new type of guys, new type of players, and I was expecting he might be, the culprit with the turnovers. Meanwhile, he's still good with the turnover numbers. His assist to turnover ratio is great, as far as I see. Meanwhile, I think RJ's number of turnovers has risen from his is way higher than last season because he tries to maybe not force the offense through him, but I think like Steph said, I'm not happy with. I mean, Steph said that when he looks to pass, he gets those turnovers. Meanwhile, I'm not comfortable with him driving to the end and taking a bad shot. So it's like you got to lose somewhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
uh,
I think RJ is forcing a bit.
yeah,
You know,
he's definitely forcing that. That we know all, but but I was thinking that he might be, one of those guys that is still gonna be able to take one for the team, and he's not gonna try to force the whole offense through him. It looks a little bit different. Let's hope he's gonna balance that out so everybody's happy and the
Right.
Knicks win, because that's a huge and main factor. We see the locker room chemistry is high. The guys are playing with a great attitude. I hope that keeps up because I really believe that that's a great case for the Knicks' success this season.
yeah.
And to piggyback off that, what you just saying, Andy, I honestly and truly believe it starts with our floor general and Jalen Brunson. You have a guy now that can control the pace, that can get everybody organized, and that everybody respects. Whatever he tells them to do, they're like, okay, no problem. When have we ever seen that in any of our point guards that we've had?
I get you, but I was hoping that that would at least result. I was hoping it wouldn't result in more turnovers, though.
No,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
and
saying? Having a
I get
guy
what you're
that can handle
saying.
the rock.
Right, right, right. But
But
I'm
part
just
of
gonna
it.
say,
Oh,
okay, go ahead,
no,
Steph.
finish. No. I thought you were finished. Go ahead.
No, I am. I'm finished for a little bit. You go. You go ahead.
I
If you
mean,
was
I
Bubby, it'd
think
be a different story.
right. I think it's for different. I think it's for different reasons. Randall still handles the ball more than I would like him to. I like the proportion between him and Brunson early in the season, maybe the first 3, 4 games, and now it seems almost like 60-40
Mm,
or something like that. I do
Sixty
like in the
forty
last
them, 60
no,
40
between
Randall.
between Brunson and Randall handling the ball. Randall's
Right.
handling the ball a little more with these past, I
Okay.
don't know,
Okay.
4 or 5 games. I do like in the last game that down the stretch, Brunson had the ball in his hands. But my
Yeah.
my point is, I think Randall's turnovers is going up the more he handles the ball.
yeah.
And I think RJ's turnovers is going up because the past 2, 3 games I've noticed he is trying to get others involved, but his passes are going awry. Like they're getting deflected. He's trying to make a pass, but it's just not on point. Like
And
some of them he's fumbling and bumbling,
Yeah.
don't get me
But
wrong.
yeah, and
But
then the other.
others
Yeah.
trying. And
Right.
I have to say, I'm glad he's trying. Like I'm tired of forcing shots. I'm tired of this. You know what? I'm taking the ball to the baskets. 3 people on me. I don't even care. I'm like, I need him to be for his game to evolve a little bit as far as playmaking is concerned. I think he's trying that, but it's more turnovers process. That's what
Okay.
I'm
So,
seeing in
Right.
so,
just the
so
past 2 games.
okay. So you don't have a problem with him if he has like somebody open on the wing and he's just taking it himself. Because I do.
No, 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 no. I have a
Okay.
problem. I do, but what I'm
Okay.
seeing lately is when he's driving, he's like he hit ahead to Randall, for the three on the fast break. Where usually he's plotting, bringing it up. He
Right.
hit ahead on the fast break. In the half court, he had a skip pass to Randall, another skip pass to Cam for a three, and I'm like, wow, like okay. So I see him trying to get his teammates involved, diversifying his game. And he's less predictable, and that's going to help him as well.
Yeah.
And turnovers is just a part of it, I'm trying to say.
Right,
Okay.
right, right. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Andy?
Yeah, just to add on this RJ turnover topic, you guys know that I'm going hard on RJ this season because he took the contract extension, and I'm, counting this season as he would be getting the money already. But I'm not gonna
He don't
lie,
get it yet, though, Andy. He's only making 11 million, though.
Bro,
He's only making 11.
He already called the bank so they can stretch that space on that account for that money. So I'm counting for him. But yeah, but to be true, Sim, I was gonna say that I'm not blaming fully RJ on at least some of these turnovers, because when he's driving, and you can go back to the games, and when he's going to get the turnover, you can guys see that, for example, he's trying to force it a little bit to make the hoop, but he doesn't have anyone to pass. When Obi's on the floor, Obi's already camping around the 3-point line, and sometimes he's behind his man. You ain't gonna get the pass if you're behind the defender. You got to get loose, move a step or two on the side, one side or another, so we are open for the driving guy to get the ball. And Obi is standing in the corner and ain't even budging. That's why RJ is like, he has to make the decision to try to score in traffic or to make the pass. But if Obi's close, he has to, chuck it. And that's a really bad shot. So he's put in the place a little bit by his teammates. And I'm not saying by each and everyone, but I saw Obi doing it definitely too many times. So if you guys can, point that out, when you're watching the game, at least you try to look on it. It's really baffling when you see it in game time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Big Bubba, any thoughts on this topic? I don't know if you said anything from the beginning in that.
Or if you listen to what we were talking about.
Exactly.
No,
That's what I'm getting at.
no.
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
I'll just,
He
anyways.
was reading, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
He was reading. He picked up a new skill over the past couple of months.
Hey.
Not for the show tonight.
No,
It's the front
he's
seat.
multitasking, bro. He's multitasking,
Well,
reading and doing a
he's got-
podcast, bro.
Well, he got
He's
ripped.
talented.
He got riffed. That's what happened. He got ripped.
I just want to
Reading is
I do a light plug. I just want to shout out to my lady. We got a great book right here, The Three Mothers. Great book, by the way. Great book. Three Mothers. Great book.
All right.
Had to plug my lady in there.
Listen, did you read it from cover to cover? Don't be a Kyrie now. You up here getting a book up and you haven't read it from cover to cover. You don't know what's
You don't know what's in there now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I don't want to get you in trouble, so I can't.
right. Make sure you read that thing now.
I don't want you to lose everything, man.
He's just flipping the pages, so he's gonna, tell
Right.
the girlfriend, I read it, bro.
Nah, she'll kill me if I didn't read the book. Anyways, no, man. Look,
She's gonna quiz you.
she might, man. Anyways, let's get back on subject, guys. Anyways, no. So I'll say this: I do agree with Andy with the RJ Barrett thing. To me, there's no training was all for RJ. So he has to do better. Again, I mean, he's been doing better. He's been doing really good right now. He's averaging throughout the last 4 games. He's been averaging 22 points on 45% shooting, and he's upticking his percentage right now. So he's honestly 1.5 percentage away from being 45%. He's 1.5 from being 45%. And to me, that's what I'm looking for RJ this season. 44 is my ceiling. 44 is my floor. I would love it to be 48, but that's kind of superstar level type stuff. But 45, I'll be truly happy with 45%, which again, he's a 1.5 percentage away from doing that. Again, the turnovers a little bit. He like I said, I agree with Steph a lot today. Yeah,
you're learning. You're learning.
Yeah, I'm learning. Yeah, I'm learning. No, but listen, the turnovers I'm okay with. There's some that are kind of boneheaded. But I'm glad he's doing it because there was that. I forgot which was that the Atlanta Hawks game when he tried to go through 3 people and Obi was open in the corner. I think that was the Hawks game, if I'm not mistaken. Like stuff like that bothers me, but I'm glad to see RJ doing this. I'm actually happier because RJ, man, in the season he'll be shooting like 30% right now from the field. And, but right now he's doing a lot better. He's doing a lot better earlier. Again with our assist to turnovers, you know, thank God for Brunson. He's keeping us afloat with that. But hey, listen, man, tonight this is a game from me where RJ take advantage. I don't think there's nobody on the Nets that can really guard him. I don't see nobody really guarding him to guard besides Kevin Durant and Ben Simmons. They're kind of small team.
Yeah, well,
They're not really a big team, So it's like I think this is to me a good opportunity for RJ to continue his play, and continue doing what he's doing. And yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
all right. We'll see. The Knicks are averaging 6.5 steals per game, 5.5 blocks. They're shooting 46.3% from the field, 34.8% from three, and 77.1% from the free throw line. They're 13th in pace at 100.95, 16th in offensive rating at 111.4, and 18th in defensive rating at 111.8. And as for the Brooklyn Nets, they're averaging 110.5 points per game, 39.5 rebounds, 25 assists, 13.6 turnovers, 7.6 steals, 8.1 blocks. They're shooting 47.6% from the field, 35.1% from three, 81% or 82% from the free throw line. They're slow. They're 27th in pace at 97.49. Their offensive rating is 13th at 112.4, and their defensive rating is 22nd in the league at 113.2. So, you all right, Kev? You all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine. I am perfect. The reason why I gave that expression is because we got to have this game right here with those numbers that you just read.
Okay, well,
We
you still got to play the game. You still got to play the
we still
game.
got to play the
Still
game,
gotta
but
play
from
it.
the evidence that I've
Hey
seen of
Sim,
our
I
team playing,
thought you pissed off Kevin. You was reading something. I was like, yeah. Hey Sim, and by the way, Sim, I don't know if this is breaking news, but I just got a Bleacher Report notification. It says Shams reports that NBA executives believe that New York is stockpiling first-round picks to trade for a megastar.
That's not news.
That's from what, 2 years ago or
How long ago was that? I mean, that's not news. That's not breaking news.
Hey,
y'all thought I was bad.
Yeah, maybe you turned the clock on Saturday, like now,
Right.
an hour,
I
like
mean-
a year back or whatever, Isaiah, bro.
Hey, why y'all killing y'all killing me? I ain't the one to report it.
Oh
Even
boy.
Steph laughed at that one.
Oh man. Yeah,
Hey,
that's
hey,
pretty
y'all
old
killing
news.
me. Sean, you know what it is, man? Sean was probably bored. It was like, there's nothing going on in the NBA right now. Let me
I
say
don't
something
know.
about the Knicks.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
I thought you was talking about a pending trade or
it's
something.
something. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
Like,
go.
Hold
what's
on.
going
So hold on. Y'all not about to attack me. So we all don't got Bleacher Report.
No, I don't.
I have
I
Bleacher
don't.
Report. I don't have it sending notifications to my phone.
Not like that. No, not at all.
Man, y'all
Oh,
killing me.
boy.
I guess I'm showing my age, man. Y'all killing me, man.
Sheesh. Oh man. Key matchup for tonight. My key matchup, at least, and I don't even know how much is going to be a matchup. But Julius Randle and Kevin Durant, obviously. Randle's averaging 20.1 points per game, 8.9 rebounds, 3.3 assists, shooting 45.9% from the field, 33.3% from three, and 74.6% from the free throw line. Kevin Durant, 31 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4.7 assists, shooting 51.8% from the field, 33.3% from three, and 93% from the free throw line. That's going to be our problem right there. Kevin Durant, obviously. That's going to be the issue. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that Kevin Durant doesn't go crazy tonight. Because if he goes crazy, you better believe one or two other guys are going to be able to get loose because all the attention is going to be on KD. A couple other guys are going to get loose. You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
throw double teams at him?
I don't know, man. I don't know. If somebody else is getting loose, you can't. If they're not getting loose, maybe you can. But then you take the chance that somebody else is going to get loose because once you start double teaming, you're depending on your team to rotate and get to the open shooters.
And that's a
that could be,
gamble
and
with the
that's a
Knicks.
gamble. And that's a gamble with the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a gamble with the Knicks.
Hey, Sam, I believe, and this might sound stupid. Maybe you can help me out as a coach, but I believe in these kind of games when you got a guy when you got a legendary player. He's a legendary player. He ain't nothing you could do that he hasn't seen. I believe in single coverage in him, and just working on everybody else. Because he's Kevin Durant. He's freaking Kevin Durant. It ain't nothing you could do about it. I mean, I think single coverage and focus on the other guys would be more of a better defensive strategy. Because don't get me wrong, I mean, he can still kill you, but I believe letting Kevin Durant do what he wants and just guarding everybody else. Because again, let's say he scores 50 points. Let's say he goes for 50. That's 50 points out of what? 100 points? You're still going to need somebody else to score 100 the other 50 points. If you can stop them.
Listen, they've been averaging 110 points per game. So somewhere along the line, other people have been, and he's only averaging 31. So you got other people scoring 80 points per game. Right?
Yeah, Kyrie. Well, him and Kyrie were 60 points. So that's what?
So you still got another group. You still got more people scoring 50. Or
yeah, you got a group of 50,
so
people scoring 50.
Let me ask this. What height and weight is Kevin Durant?
I don't know what you're trying to say. It's Kevin Durant, Kevin. It's Kevin Durant. You can see.
I'm not even listening to you. What? He's 6'11",
6'9", 6'10", 6'11", whatever he is, something like that.
Okay.
27 number shoe.
Okay.
Is he 27?
No, because what I'm getting at is the way he can punish other players, his matchup. I think that Randall can punish him as well. That's what I'm getting at. I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to score like Randall. I'm saying Randall. I'm not saying Randall can, will score like 30 or something like that. But I think he can apply just as much pressure as Durant is applying.
I mean, Randall's played well against Kevin Durant in the past.
Okay.
I don't think it's out of the question that Randall has a good game.
Hey, who's roughing the game? That's another thing too, because we've lost because of those darn referees.
So, all right. Well, look, it's 4:29, and I do got to get out of here because I got to get to practice.
Yeah, I got to get to practice too.
Yeah, practice what? practice doing what?
Hey, I could coach. I could coach.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to figure out practice doing what.
Hey, you heard of the white shadow? I'm the black shadow.
Okay. All right.
We'll look behind you. Look behind you. Look behind you, Black Shadow.
Any predictions for tonight's game? I'll start with Andy and come around. Predictions for tonight's game?
Yes, I predict. I think it's going to be closer.
Actually, I'm sorry, Andy. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I do want to get to a couple of super chats before I get out of here. All right, I almost forgot about them, so make sure I get to these super chats. Big shout out to Chuck D. Thank you for the super chat. He said, "Let's go." Definitely, let's go and get this win tonight.
Yeah.
And then Uncle Fulio, thank you for the super chat. He said the Knicks should dominate in the paint tonight easily. You know what? They dominated in the paint against Boston too. Boston, knocked down 27 threes. They should dominate in the paint. They got to guard that 3-point line and not let guys like Joe Harris and Royce O'Neal get off. But sorry,
is
Andy.
Curry playing too? Is Curry playing too?
Yes, I believe so. Curry's playing. Andy, go ahead.
I believe the Knicks are going to get a win, but it's going to be closer than what, from what I saw from the chat, it's going to be, a closer, harder fought game than what the Knicks fans think. I'm guessing most of the Knicks fans think it's going to be a blowout. I don't see a blowout versus KD happening unless they really get him in foul trouble really, really early. That might be, the game-changing thing. And I also envision Thibs throwing literally almost everyone versus KD on the defensive end. Even Jalen Brunson's going to have a go at KD trying to poke the ball out. It's not going to be maybe by scheme, but it's going to be a thing that whenever they got the ball past the half court, they're not going to let KD have like 3-4 even feet of free space. So whoever's closer to him is going to be defending him. And like you said, probably the tactic is going to be that They might be, letting KD score on whoever he is, but I don't think it can be like one person because they're easily going to get foul calls versus them. That's why I see Cam guarding KD, Randall guarding KD, Barrett guarding KD, and Spurs is going to be even Brunson and Sims and whoever's on the court on that time. But I still think the Knicks are going to pull out the W here.
All right, cool. Steph?
Yeah, I forgot predictions. I think we win. Like Josh said, I think we should out rebound them. I think we should win points in the paint. I think I don't know about fast break. I don't know about fast break points. I think that even if KD scores 40, if we can contain the rest of them, that's my concern. Like the Seth Curry who hasn't been playing well up to this point, Harris who hasn't been shooting great up to this point. I think the Knicks have to go in expecting a dogfight. Don't go in looking at their record and
right.
Simmons hasn't been playing. We already have this. We don't. We're not playing at that level that we can be that confident going. I mean, you should be confident. But not that you can just show up.
Right.
So
exactly.
I think if the Knicks come to play, we win this game.
Yeah. Okay.
Our center position, Sims and Hartenstein, better than Claxton. I think we should win this game.
Yeah. Right.
Obi Toppin. We should.
Right. Yeah. The bench, we should. Yeah. Our bench, we should. We should win that bench battle.
Yeah.
Should.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Should. Isaiah?
Man, Sim, a great show.
Boss is calling. Boss is calling. Boss seeing you on the show.
Right.
What's going on? The boss like, wait a minute, is that Isaiah up there?
Right. You giving a shout out to Books? Did you clear that with the company?
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Sim. Knicks are gonna win. We gotta end the show. Good night, y'all. We love y'all. Peace out.
Kev, your prediction, man.
I think the curse ends tonight. I think we get our first win against Simmons. I think we get our first win against Durant. As long as we guard the perimeter and do what we do, I think that we can win this game because I think we're overdue for beating this team. This team has had our way with us for too long. The games that we played last year, we were just losing. I think a couple of times. I think it went into overtime and everything. So we're due, and I think this is the perfect time to do it. And let's just get it done, man. Let's just get it done. We New York.
Yeah.
We have to do this.
All right, so I didn't get fired. All right, so I know you're not happy about that. Anyways, I do think the Knicks are going to win.
You were cutting me off. You
ain't say nothing.
That's what I was doing. You ain't saying nothing either.
I'm about to. I do think the Knicks will win. I think the Knicks are going to win. I think it's going to be 116. I think the Knicks have a good chance to score a lot of points. Again, let Kevin Durant do his thing. If RJ, because RJ, Randall, and Brunson, they've been stepping up big time these last few games. And like I said before, I think we have a real good time. I think we get over the Ben Simmons curse, finally. We finally beat Ben Simmons, and we beat Kevin Durant after what, 7? You said 7 years? 7 years? It's been 7 years? All right, we're going to beat 2 curses tonight. And we're all going to be back here on the game show after, if it's not too late.
Isaiah he'll be asleep. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Hold on, Sim. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say it tonight. I'm gonna be on the show.
All right, we'll see.
all right, we'll see. Kev, I gotta get out of here. Kev, I gotta end it, man.
We gotta give Obi his props, man. Y'all was killing him for.
I gotta get out of here.
He's doing
Peace,
his
ladies
thing.
and gentlemen.
NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give give us a sob like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.